Hey, it's Lauren with Bargain Bead Box, and today we're going to be making a 4-in-1 necklace or necklace and bracelet set using the July Desert Sands Bargain Bead Box. So we're going to use an eclectic mix of items from the box. We're going to be using the bead caps, spacer beads, round glass beads, rainbow jasper beads, bicones, lapis rounds, picture jasper rectangles, crystal rondelles, and then both our 6 and 8mm picture jasper rounds. So just a little bit of everything in this set. And then the only items I'm using that are not included in the box are my tiger tail wire, which you can find at the Bead Box Bargain store. I believe that's 0.38 wire. And then I've got crimp 1102 crimp beads, ring 115 jump rings. These are all from the Bead Box Bargain sister store. And Tog 788. These are going to be your lobster claw clasps that we're going to use to connect the pieces. And then finally, find 2521 clamshell, different crustacean, or not crustacean, sea creature. Different sea creature there. Clamshell bead tips. All right, let's get started. Okay, so we're going to put together, essentially we're going to be making 4 different pieces that can be connected a lot of different ways using lobster claws and jump rings. So the first thing I'm going to make is my back segment, which can also function as a connector piece and a bracelet. So it's going to be 2 pieces, and they're going to be similar. They're going to match except for the way we do the clasps on the end. So I'm going to be making 2 beaded segments, each roughly 7 inches long because I have a 7-inch wrist. You can adjust that up or down if needed. You want them to be about as long as your, basically whatever your comfortable bracelet length is. You're going to want to make 2 pieces about that long. Okay, so I've cut my wires. Now I'm going to go ahead and just start making the ends. So I'm going to work from the ends simultaneously. I find that a little easier when I'm designing these because I want them to be basically identical. So I'm actually, before I put the crimp bead on, I'm going to put on a clamshell bead tip. And then since we are using some heavier beads, I'm going to put my crimp bead on, but I'm going to run the end of the string around and back up through the crimp and then pull it as tight as I possibly can. And this just gives that crimp bead a little more to hold on to and keeps it from pulling out with the pressure of the heavy beads. So I'll get that as tight as I can. There we go. Give it a little squish to hold it at that tightness. And we'll see if I can do a little 2-step crimp here. So with the interior notch, I'm going to just bend it. And with the exterior, or the notch at the end there, try to shape it, which may be tricky. Oh, there we go. Even with that little tiger tail wire. And all it does is it just makes it a little bit smaller to fit a little more nicely in the bead tip here. Okay, so now I'm going to take my wire cutters and trim, and I'm going to pull my clamshell bead tip up and squeeze it closed. I'll give it a little gentle squeeze here. You can use nylon coated pliers if you're using, particularly if you're using like a very sensitive material like sterling silver, but stainless steel, it's gonna be just fine. All right, so now I'm going to repeat that process on the other wire. It's gonna do clamshell bead tip, and then pull this wire around and back through. I might need to give myself a longer tail to work with here. There we go, we got it. Pull that as tight as I can. And give it just a little squeeze. I'm just going to see if I can shape it a tiny bit using my crimping pliers. Alright, see, it's just a little smaller. It's not going to look perfect because you've got that wire end there, but that's okay. It's about to be hidden forever. So trim the end, Squeeze it shut. Give it a little extra squeeze and make sure those sides are lined up here. There we go. I do like the clamshell bead tips that have a loop on both ends. They're very nice. Okay, so now I'm just going to put half of a clasp on each end. So on one side I will just put a jump ring, and on the other I will attach a lobster claw. And you can use a smaller jump ring to attach these if you want. I just grabbed the ring 115 today, so that's what I'm going to be using in both applications. Okay, now I'm just going to open my jump rings with my pliers and my little jump ring tool and slide it on through that loop and close it up. And on this side, we'll just go ahead and do the same thing, but I'm going to add a lobster claw. Okay, so now we're going to make, I definitely just bent that jump ring all up one moment. After this, we're going to make, this is going to be the back segment of the necklaces that you can wear either with both of the front strands for a double strand necklace, or either of the front strands on their own for a single strand longer look. And one half of it, this half that has the loop end, can also be worn as a bracelet. So it's going to serve a couple purposes. Let's get started. Alright, so I'm going to start with making the piece that will have a clasp at both ends. And I'm going to start with an 8mm picture jasper bead, followed by a bead cap. And then after that, I'm going to grab a red jasper rondelle. We'll see how that looks. And then a 6mm matte jasper. And then a crystal rondelle in turquoise here. Alright, so this is going to be my basic sort of pattern here. I think I'm going to put a metal bead next. Throw some more silver in there. And then I'll do another 6mm round and another jasper. And then I think I'm going to do an 8mm picture jasper completely encased in bead caps. So bead cap on either side. There we go. And then I'm going to do another turquoise crystal rondelle, another red jasper, and another 6mm matte picture jasper. Alright, so this is, we're getting close to what will be the midpoint of the bracelet for me. This side actually won't be a bracelet, but the other side that will be the same length is going to be. So keep in mind how long you want your piece to be as you're designing your pattern. I'm essentially going to do, let's see, I'm going to do another metal spacer bead, and then I'm going to start to work this pattern in reverse on the other side here. Let's see. Yeah, I think that'll work well. So we'll do the inverse. So picture jasper, red jasper, crystal. Tell you what, I'm going to do an 8mm jasper with just metal beads on either side of it next, and then I'm going to start that. I think that'll look good. So this will be coming up on the side of your necklace. You'll have your two larger pieces connected here, or either one of them. So this is going towards the back of the neck. And it's it's also a design that will function as a bracelet. So I'm going to do another 6mm picture jasper, red jasper crystal, and at this point I'm just doing the inverse here. So we'll do another picture jasper enclosed in bead cap this time, an 8mm one, and another bead cap, and then after that we're going to do red jasper, 6mm jasper, and a spacer bead, and a turquoise crystal. So at this point we're not quite, but getting close to bracelet length on me. So I am going to go ahead and add a 6mm jasper and a red jasper again. I think that's where I will stop. That will be a cute bracelet pattern. But also, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do one thing real quick. I'm going to try throwing that 8mm on there too, because I really think that if we want this piece to be double-sided, I think it should mirror it all the way to the end. Yeah, so that's still going to be, a good bracelet on me. Yeah, and it is going to be mirrored so that if you use only this piece, you can it'll still look even on both sides of the necklace chain. So yeah, I like mirroring it all the way through as I'm thinking through that. So if you wanted it to be longer or shorter, the middle point here would be a good way to do that. But this is going to be 1/2 of the back chain, but it will also function as a sole back chain if you want to wear the other part as a bracelet and make your necklace shorter. So you'll see what I mean. It'll make a little more sense once we get further along here. But for now, I'm just going to finish this out. Alright, so I like to open my clamshell bead tip all the way out so it lays flat when I am finishing my piece. And I'm going to once again thread that crimp bead on, maybe, or drop it, you know, either or. Alright, thread it on for real this time. And now I'm going to loop this strand back through. And it can be a little tricky at this junction to keep the right amount of tension on the cord so that your crimp bead ends up close but not too close and not too far away from the end of the strand. But you want to have a little bit of give so that it will bend, but you don't want to have so much that the beads are sliding everywhere. So I think that looks pretty good. You can go ahead and pull it up just a tiny bit. Crimp that and cut that. I will see if I can get it to 2-step crimp, but if not, it's not going to be a big deal. It's always harder to do this. So we're trying to shape it a little bit to make it smaller. It's not terrible. It'll fit inside there, so we're good. And now we're just going to fold up both sides of the clamshell bead tip over our crimp here. Alright, and get those sorted there. Just trying to kind of pinch those a little bit closer, a little more even. Let's see, we can just squeeze it gently. There we go. Now we get those loops lined up nicely. And now I'm going to attach another lobster claw to the end of this piece using a jump ring. And my little jump ring opener ring. Alright, so once again, just pulling the jump ring through there and attaching the clasp. And with jump rings, the trick is always to swing out and in and not uncurl. You get it uncurled, it will never want to line up again. All right, so there's one. Now we're just going to copy that pattern and make another piece. I'm going to go ahead and connect the clasp here just so it holds and I can see where I'm at. And hopefully I won't make any pattern mistakes. No promises. All right. Grab the rest of my bead caps here. One moment while I locate the rest of my bead caps. I just had them. That's my spacer beads. Ah. Okay. Alright, so I'm just going to put on a bead cap. And again, I'm just following this pattern. I'm going to put exactly the same beads on this strand. And this side is going to be the side that you can also wear as a bracelet because it will have a clasp half on one side and then it has the ring on the other. So, crystal rondelle followed by metal bead. I love picture jasper. It looks so sandy to me and also so artistic. It just, the patterns in it, sometimes it looks like a map, sometimes it looks like abstract art or cave paintings or something. I just love those rich earthy colors. Alright, so next up is our turquoise rondelle, red jasper. And I always like patterns and designs that will allow me to wear a piece multiple ways, because that way, whether your neckline is higher or lower, whether you need a longer or shorter piece, you've got some options. And you can get a lot of wear out of one creation, which I appreciate. So that was kind of the inspiration for this design. I like making one piece that does several things. Look at that, that almost looks like a wood grain. So pretty. Okay, getting close here. And then after this, we will make two different necklace pieces that can be worn together for a double strand look or separately. All right. One last picture jasper round. And if you need to add or subtract beads to this part of the design to adjust for your wrist size, a great place to do it is going to be the middle here. You can always run another, like put bead caps on this one and run another pattern here, or you could even just do more spacer, 8mm spacers in the middle. That would look pretty too. Just some ideas. Or if you need to shorten it, you can just take out take out the spacers on either side of the 8mm bead, or just take out this whole bit altogether. So totally up to you. Just some ideas there. Oh, look at that, I almost did a pattern error. I don't have a second bead cap on that one. It's just my brain wants bead caps to be on both sides. It's like open parentheses, but we're gonna deal with it here. Okay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and finish this off again with an open clamshell and then a hand crimp bead. And after that, we'll attach a clasp, and then our bracelet slash second half of the back of the necklace is done. I'm just going to pull that really tight, squish it, see if I can shape it at all. It's a little trickier when you've got that wire looped back through, but it is also sturdy. Yeah, here we go. So if you have trouble with crimp beads giving out in your designs, looping it back through is a good way to strengthen that pain point. All right. Uh-oh. I have slightly broken my crimp bead. This seems fine. I'll inspect it later. This is the one I am keeping for myself. Alright. Okay. So I'm going to attach another lobster claw clasp. And look at that, I swung it out too much. We'll try to cheat and just squeeze it a little bit and see if that helps. Yeah, I think that's okay. Okay. Alright, so here you have your back part of your necklace. Or this piece. I did not get that jump ring as close as I want it to be. One moment. There we go, much better. This piece can also be a bracelet, which then leaves you with a shorter back to your necklaces if you want a shorter look. All right, so let's go ahead and make the two front pieces. All right, so now let's make one of the front strands, and I'll show you how this starts to come together. Hello to you too, computer. Oh. All right, just gonna start this off exactly the same as the other strands by going around and through this crimp bead, crimping it down, and putting the crimp cover over it. All right, it's a little tricky, but I'm gonna see if I can just double crimp this to begin with, or if I can keep enough tension on it to keep that little loop small. I don't know, this may or may not work, but we're gonna try it because I am curious. All right, inner crimp, outer shape. That actually worked okay. Better than expected, even. Now I'm just going to trim it. I like a two-step crimp because it just kind of makes things a little neater and makes that crimp bead fit really nicely in your little bead tip there. Okay, so this is a very, very, very simple pattern. We're just going to do basically 9 repetitions of a crystal bead, 3 picture jasper rounds. I like to kind of vary up light and dark in each little segment here. 3 crystal jasper rounds, followed by another crystal and a red jasper rondelle. So there we go. That's all there is to it. And we're just going to do 3 more rounds. Let's find a nice lighter one, maybe. It doesn't matter. They can be whatever color they are. I just like to mix and match, have that like really wood grain type feel. All right, and then another red jasper, and then another turquoise round, so, or rondelle rather. So we're just kind of making little sets of beads framed by rondelles. Ooh, look at that one. It's part light brown and part dark brown. I love that. Jasper makes me happy. It's all the different natural patterns. All right, so now a crystal rondelle followed by a red jasper. We're just sort of like inverting the pattern here each time. And this will be kind of front and center. This is the shorter of the 2 front strands I'm making. So it's, again, very simple, but it looks really nice with the necklace sides that we just crafted. So it was kind of fun. All right, and 3 more. Whew. Oh, I don't know about y'all, but I cannot believe it is back to school time. That is wild to me, getting ready. We don't start this week, but doing all the school supply shopping and everything. It's fun times. I actually do love school supplies. Very, very much. So it's fun helping Lynn pick hers out. Of course, she wants all the unicorns and kitties and, you know, the loudest, most colorful folder that you can find. So it's been hunting those down. It's been fun. All right, we are at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I need 3 more repetitions of this pattern. So here we go. Then a turquoise, then a red jasper. That's 7. So this will be 8. Here we go. With the red and a turquoise. Okay. All right, so our last 3 picture jasper beads followed by a turquoise rondelle, and we are finished stringing. So now we just got to do our clamshell bead tip and our crimp, and we're done. See if I can double crimp here again. Pull it as tight as I can. And now squish with the inner notch and shape with the outer notch just a little. It is what it is with this, but it's all right. Running that cord through it again keeps you from getting that perfect little folded over rectangle, but that's okay. It's going to be hidden. No one will know except for me, and it will torment me, but I will live. I will carry that burden. All right. Oh my gosh, I need more coffee, I think, y'all. Okay, here we go. Where's my ring? Here it is. I'm just going to add a jump ring to either side of this. And the reason for that is then we can just clip it on to our pieces that we made earlier, which we'll do here in just a second. Once I get these closed to my liking. That one looks good. This one needs to go just a little bit more. All right. So we now have 3 different pieces. With the 3 pieces we've created so far, we have the option to either take this doubled up clasp piece and put it on to make a short necklace and a bracelet, or we can clip the bracelet on as well onto this side, and now we have a longer necklace with a clasp in the middle and our 8mm picture jasper strand in the front. But we're not going to stop there. We're going to make one more longer strand that can be mixed and matched as well. So let me pull out my beads for that and we'll get started. Alright, so this will be our our 4th and final piece, and it's also the longest. So I've cut about 12 20 inches of wire, though I will not use that much. I just like to have some extra to work with because I would always rather have extra than not enough. So I maybe tend too far in that direction, but when you've had to take things apart because you've hit upon the perfect pattern, but your string isn't long enough. It's a little traumatizing, I guess. Anyway, I'm going to begin this one just like the others. Here we go. Pull that as tight as I can. Here, try that. Here we go. Get that nice and tight, and now I can crimp it with the inner notch. Maybe it'll sit nice for me. Here we are. And then form it with the outer notch. That one actually formed up pretty well. Look at that. I'm getting better at this. Alright, now I'm going to trim it. And come over here and close up my clamshell. Okay, so I told you in the beginning I was going to use the red glass beads in this design, but I think I've decided I'm just going to stick with the red jasper for now, and I'll use the glass beads in a different design. But for now, we're just going to start with, let's see, start with a lapis faceted round, followed by a turquoise crystal rondelle, and then a crystal bicone, and another lapis round, and then in the middle we're going to put a 6mm matte picture jasper round. I'll swing that down so you can see what it looks like. And now we're going to do the inverse. So lapis, bicone, and then a picture jasper round. And if you want it like a brighter, punchier red, you can absolutely use the 6mm glass rounds here too. It just depends what you're going for. And now I'm going to do a metal spacer bead and one of my picture jasper rectangles. So you want to find your very favorite one and use it fourth, because number 4 will be in the middle. I'm going to use kind of a pretty gray-brown one here on the side. Alright, and now I'm just going to reverse this pattern, except we'll do another spacer bead and not a lapis round at the end there. So, spacer bead, followed by picture jasper, and a crystal bicone, and then we'll have a 6mm jasper in between 2 lapis faceted rounds. I love the micro facets on this lapis, it's so pretty. Okay, and then another bicone and a crystal rondelle. And then finally, silver, and then another picture jasper, and another silver spacer. Alright, so we're just going to repeat this pattern, and again we are reversing it on either side, so you'll have 2 of the same beads on either side of your rectangle each time. And if you have a particular favorite, whether it's the jasper or the turquoise that you want on your center rectangle, just go ahead and do that one. So let's see, red, turquoise, red, turquoise. It'll be the opposite of the one that you start with. So if you'd rather have the red on the inside, just reverse this, flip this, do the red jasper here and turquoise there. It's just a little customization you can make if you prefer. I like the turquoise, I think it looks good, so we're gonna go with it. Okay, especially because it doesn't involve me undoing anything I've already done. That's always a plus. No, I like the turquoise crystal a lot with this set. So with this, honestly, when I was designing this piece, I did it because I wanted to put all the colors together. I really like them that way, but I also wanted to have the option of wearing kind of an earthy look that focused more on the picture Jasper browns. So you get the best of both worlds with this design. You can add this strand for some extra color, and you get the lapis in there and kind of all of the colors in the box mixed together. Or you can wear it with just the strand we made last and have more of a earthy focused look. Let's see here. And use this 1/3, I think. I think my absolute favorite one that I have right here is going to be this bead. I just love the way it, I don't know, it looks like a painting. So I think I'm going to have that one in the very middle. So maybe I'll actually do more of the feathered type bead next, just to kind of mix it up a teensy tiny bit. Actually, I like this one. It coordinates but isn't exactly the same. And then on the other side, I'll do this, then another nice earthy brown one, and another kind of gray brown one there. Yeah, I think that'll work well. Okay, just thinking out loud here. So we're going to do another spacer. And I like the way you get some sparkle on this strand. You've got your crystal bicones, you've got your sparkly faceted lapis. It's all coming together. Here we go. And the other fun thing about this design is that the possibilities really are endless. You can add another big fancy pendant strand if you want. You can mix it and match it however makes you happy. Okay, so now I'm going to put my center rectangle. Look at that, so nice. Actually, I want it strung the other direction because I want, yeah, there we go. Does it matter? Probably not. Does it make me happy? Yes, so I'm doing it. Okay. Alrighty, and now we're just gonna continue this pattern all the way back up this side. So this is a very easy strung piece. It has a lot of flexibility to it. Alright. I think one of my favorite parts of this box has to be these picture Jasper rectangles. They are just so very fun, and they were one of the first things I found. I knew I had to have them in that they were going in my July box. You know, we've actually been working on this collection since, oh goodness, February, I guess, was when I got those. It takes about 6 months to get enough stones cut and everything all gathered and everything labeled and packed, and it has been quite a journey. But I love finding good deals on natural gemstones. Anytime that happens, I snap them up. And why do I feel like I'm doing something wrong? I don't think I am. I am. Look at that. No? Because that's what I did here. I'm not sure. I think my brain's just double checking itself. I'm good. This is fine. I'm fine. Every now and then I'm just like, wait, what did I do to this pattern? I'll get talking while I'm making a video and I'll just forget things. So, trying hard to make sure I don't do that. Oh, okay, so now I'm going to do another nice earthy brown one with these like moss-like dark inclusions. Love that. And we're almost done. Just one more rectangle, 2 more repetitions of the little pattern in between. Okay, 6mm, that's what's next. So, got our lapis and our crystal. Then the red jasper will go through. And now we have our final, ooh, look at the other side of that. Love how they're so different on each side. Final little rectangle there. And if yours don't really super coordinate and they're all over the place, that is totally fine too, because picture jasper is super varied and the variations are what make it so cool. So just go with what makes you happy here. Alright, so we are wrapping it up. Again, just the inverse of the pattern that we started it with. And here we go. Look at that. So now I'm just gonna take this clamshell, flatten it out, get my crimp bead, and we'll just finish this up. Here we go. We've been finally getting a lot of rain this week, which makes me very happy. I don't have to water the garden, which is always a good day. But our goats have been slightly less than thrilled. They'll be happy though when it makes their grass and plants grow so they have more greenery to eat. Our goats hate hay. They will eat it when there's nothing else to eat. Other than that, they do not touch it. But it's been so dry, everything's been brown, and they've actually been eating their hay lately. So especially on rainy days when they don't want to go outside, because I'm pretty sure goats are allergic to water. They just avoid it like cats. Alright, just about finished here, but I'm thankful for the rain. Everything's going to be green. It does mean we'll have to mow again, but you know, such is life. Alright, here we go. I'm going to trim that down. And now, all that's left to do is fold that up and add some jump rings. Cover up that crimp bead. Good riddance. That was not my best. It wasn't a bad crimp bead, but it wasn't gorgeous either. As long as it holds though, we're good. It doesn't have to be gorgeous. Alright. Okay, so now all I need to do is put a jump ring on each end here. Get my jump ring. And my chain nose pliers. And I have people ask sometimes, why do you use chain nose pliers? Why not nylon coated? And yes, those are probably better, have less chance of marking up your rings, but the chain nose give me a good grip, and my wrists do not love nylon coated pliers. I avoid them when I can. And these are nice, sturdy stainless steel rings, so not worried about it. But all that to say, if you've got nylon coated pliers and the capability to use them well, that is a good thing. Alrighty, so we finished this strand. Let's take a look at how it looks with the rest of our pieces. So you can totally just attach these back pieces that we crafted here. Using the clasps. And then you have one longer necklace. Or again, you could just do one of the back neck pieces and you'd have your long necklace and a bracelet like that. But the one I'm really excited to look at is if you attach both pieces, which I do recommend putting the longer one on first so that that ring is on the outside. And then we put the first piece that we crafted. Here, I'm trying to do this so I don't get myself turned around. Here, put this on first on this side. There we are. Now you've got a double strand necklace that you can wear in 2 different lengths as well. So let's take a quick look at what some of these different styles look like on our necklace bust. So here, first of all, is everything all put together. Like, we've got it right here, and you can see you've got 2 strands and both of the neck pieces on the back. Now if we want to shorten it up and just use the one rear piece and have a bracelet too, there's a shot of what that will look like. And then of course you can wear just the interior strand as either a long necklace with both back pieces attached, or a short necklace with just the one back piece, and then you've also got a bracelet as well. And you can do the same with the outer piece. You can have the longer necklace look with both rear chain pieces attached, or rear necklace pieces, or a shorter look with just the one. So there's a lot of different ways to wear this set, and you've got that piece that doubles as a bracelet. It's really fun to play around with, and I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching, and if you are already a Bargain Bead Box member, then you got all of the beads in today's video, plus more for $22.99. But if you're not a current member and you missed this box, we do have some extras available on the sister store, beadboxbargains.com, while supplies last. So you can go to Beadbox Bargains and check that out. They are $29.99 for the extras. And we'd love to have you join us for future boxes. If you sign up now, you will get August's mystery box for just $22.99. So anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you've had fun with this tutorial, and we would love to see what you create with your July beads. You can join our Facebook group, the Bargain Bead Box Creative Corner, and share your photos there. We would absolutely love to see them. And there's also tons of really amazing design ideas and incredibly impressive work shared by members of our community. Some incredibly talented beaders on there. So thank you all for sharing with us. Thank you for watching this video. Thanks for being a member or just hanging out with us today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and happy beading.